So there's a run on what's now being called the Treason Caucus from major corporations. This is an interesting story here. So Judd Legum tweeted, Daily Mail, Marriott and Blue Cross Blue Shield stopped donations to the Treason Caucus, who voted to overturn the election as calls mount for Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz to quit. And then you could see a little excerpt here from the article. Big business began a boycott Sunday of Republican members of Congress who followed Donald Trump's demands and voted to overturn the election. Hotel giant Marriott, Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, and Commerce Bankshare, the parent company of Commerce Bank and other community banks, all told Popular Information they were suspending donations to the group dubbed the Treason Caucus by critics. Ford, AT&T, and Bank of America told Popular Information they would consider lawmakers' actions when deciding on whether to donate, and CVS, ExxonMobil, FedEx, and Target said they are reviewing their political giving. Berkshire Hathaway said the same. Its owner, Warren Buffett, is the country's most prominent investor, and any boycott by his companies would set the tone for other investors. So I have a number of things to say about this. First of all, is this good? Of course, yeah. It's absolutely positive. But people are misinterpreting this, okay? They're thinking like, oh, we got to get rid of these people who voted to overturn the results of a democratic election, and then let's get other people in there where the corporations can go right back to donating to them and everything could be normal and hunky-dory again. No, the way I look at this is, not only should these big businesses, these corporations, stop donating to the Treason Caucus, they shouldn't donate to any politicians. Because that's open bribery and corruption. That's the way our system works. It runs on open bribery and corruption. And what's so crazy is watching people think that this is such a giant burn of the Treason Caucus. Yes, the Treason Caucus, like, any negative thing you want to say about them is true. Like, yeah, they casually are supporting overturning a democratic election that's authoritarian by definition. So they're terrible. But it's not a burn to be like, and by the way, another one, I don't know if they mentioned in this article, but Citibank now said we're going to not donate to them. It's not an own to be like, Citibank said they won't even buy off Republicans anymore. Crazy. Everybody's response to that should be good. Citibank should now not buy off any politicians, period. Full stop. We need to get this corporate money out of the political system. It's not a burn to be like, Republicans are no longer going to be corrupt now. Shows you how terrible they are. The corporations aren't giving them money anymore to do their bidding. That might even inadvertently help Republicans. Because then they get to go out there and say, I'm not taking any big money. I'm all funded by small dollar donors. Is that what you want them to say? Is that what you want them to do? Because that's what's happening. So it's not like, I think my problem with this story is that people are like totally used to the corruption where they don't even think anything of it. And by the way, I think there's like 144 corporations that Judd Legum reached out to ask them about, like, are you donating and giving money to the Treason Caucus? Mm-hmm. And many of them he made effectively say, no, we're going to stop donating to them. But like, why are we all just okay with the way the system works in the first place? Like, why is everybody comfortable with the idea that corporations can buy off politicians and give them campaign contributions, and then the politicians, when you look at their voting records, they do everything that these corporations want. Everything. And on the list of these corporations that they reached out to, are you kidding me? It's everything. It's big pharma, it's health insurance companies, it's retailers, it's Wall Street, the military-industrial complex. You have everything on that list. So, if you get them to stop donating to the Treason Caucus, good, because they shouldn't donate to anybody, but that's the point, is like, don't make it seem like the Republicans are more pure because you're trying to own them this way. Where now the Republicans could go out there and say, I'm not taking any money from Wall Street, big pharma, the military-industrial complex. I'm not taking big money from any corporations. That's a good thing to not take money from corporations. So, like, not only should they stop donating to the Treason Caucus, but Democrats should come out and say, I'm voluntarily not going to take any big money anymore. And that, by the way, that was one of the genius aspects of Justice Democrats, is that they don't take any corporate money, any PAC money, or any big money. So all the Justice Democrats are funded through small dollar donations. And that gives them the ability to go out there and say, I'm not corrupted. A lot of my colleagues are corrupted because look at where they're taking money from. I'm not corrupted. And now it's viewed as like a punitive measure against Republicans to be like, no more buying you off, sir. I'm not going to bribe you anymore. How you like them apples? So anyway, I want everybody, like, stop grandfathering in some of the worst aspects of the system to your worldview. And a lot of people do it. They just sort of grandfather in the corruption and think like, that's just how it works, idiot. Yeah, but it shouldn't work like that. You should be outraged by that. You should be outraged at the fact that these corporations effectively control our political process. And yes, not only should they not donate to the Treason Caucus, they shouldn't donate to anybody. Nobody should be taking money from these corporations because then they represent them over the will of the people. So, yeah, this got under my skin, and it got under my skin because everybody's just casually, like, okay with the way the system works, where these corporations own our politicians anyway. They shouldn't be. Yes, don't donate to the Treason Caucus anymore, but don't donate to anybody anymore because we don't want them controlling our political system, and they most certainly do.